Hey everybody, there's obviously a little bit of panic and confusion around the breaking news that asbestos was found in some brands of children's play sand over in Australia. So what does it mean? Let's bring you some context and some reassurance. Come with me. Roll intro. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today is episode number 37 of the HazMat Podcast. And today we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to do some kind of a public service announcement based on the news that broke last night or this morning when I found out about the discovery of asbestos in some children's, or a couple of brands of children's play sand over in Australia. My name is Chris. I'm the owner of HazMat. I'm the host of the podcast. I also wear another hat. I'm also the president of the New Zealand Asbestos Removal Association. So I figure I should probably jump on here and take the opportunity just to talk about this issue that's come up. Hopefully alleviate some of your concern around that breaking news. So step one, let's just take a quick look at the background. Asbestos has been found in a couple of brands of children's play sand. Jux will throw up a couple of photos right now so you can take a look what we're talking about. Of course, play sand is used in a lot of kindergartens and daycares and kohangareos and everything like that. So this could affect a lot of people, and already judging by my phone calls this morning, my call log and the emails, I think it's a good idea just to get some information out there for everybody. Step two, we are not going to talk about how it got there or who's responsible or who's paying for what. This is just a very general guide with a few helpful tips. So, are my children going to be irreparably harmed by the fact that they may have played with the sand or been exposed to the sand? I would say it is highly, highly, highly unlikely that they will suffer any ill effect. And the reason I say this from experience, number one, and number two, also the fact that it may only be very trace element of asbestos fibre. There's a good chance the fibres are not the way that they've manufactured the sand. The fibres may not be respirable anyway. The other fact is that we talk about you and I and everyone around, regardless of age, is exposed to small amounts of asbestos fibres. You only need to walk down the street in your community, and most of a lot of the properties will have some form or fashion of asbestos exposed on the outside of their property. So you just need to take this into context. I'm not saying that you should not be sensible by continuing to play with the product or going around trying to intentionally expose yourself more than you need to, but certainly I wouldn't panic right at this moment that something has happened to your child as a result. The most sensible thing you can do at this point would be to leave the sand where it is, how it is, leave it in the container preferably. You can move the container, with a lid on it to a safe area, a cupboard, or lock it away somewhere. Just leave it from little fingers being able to find it for the immediate term. And also, if it's out in the playground, don't go around trying to sweep it up or vacuum it or clean it off or anything like that. Best thing to do is just leave it as is and keep away from the area. Common sense, I think that falls along the advice already given by WorkSafe here, or MBIE. Asbestos is not going to jump up and bite you if you leave it alone and stay away from it as much as possible. The next thing to note is asbestos removal or cleanups is bloody expensive and complex in a lot of cases. So I wouldn't arbitrarily go down that track unless you've had some testing done first, whether it be sampling of the physical product or air monitoring or something like that by an accredited assessor or an environmental scientist or something like that. I think, and you'd understand, I'd hate for you to go through the cost and the logistics of having something clean top to bottom, only to find out later that there was no need to do that. So I think it makes sense to confirm the presence of asbestos before you go down that track of having a full asbestos cleanup done. I have an episode on this podcast where I talk about cleaning up contaminated areas, and I go through the fact that it is quite invasive. It's not a quick, simple task, and it also needs to be verified as well, so it can be extremely expensive, and it's not just something that can happen in 5 minutes. And lastly, if you're going to engage a asbestos removal contractor to take care of this cleanup or to remove and dispose of the product that you have, just make sure that they are accredited, and you can do that by jumping onto the WorkSafe website. This applies to New Zealand in particular, and there is a list of licensed companies that can do this type of work under the current legislation. The worst thing to do would just be to get somebody in who doesn't really know what they're doing, and of course they end up making the problem worse. So yeah, please use a accredited asbestos removalist like HazMat and make sure the work gets done properly and by the book. So I think we'll wrap that up. Guys, I have 2 children myself, 6 and 3. My youngest goes to a daycare, and so I know it's hard not to panic, especially when you hear asbestos and children in the same sentence. But hopefully I've just given some context around this. Please don't panic. Everything will work out fine, I'm sure. It just needs to be done in the right way, and panicking is not going to help any such thing. I'm sure your beautiful children will be just fine, and hopefully this never happens again. Anyway, those are issues for another day. So look, if you've had any benefit from watching this podcast, give it a like, share it around. I wanted to get something out quickly to everybody, so this I thought would be the best way to do that. If you need to get further advice, talk to your school, talk to WorkSafe, or you can come to some of the removal companies like ourselves just by jumping on a Google search, and I'm sure they'll point you in the right direction. So thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we see you all again soon for another episode of the HazMat Podcast. Catch you later.